Morning everyone, I hope you're well. This is Robert with 50 Years of Chess, and I've got another game from you from the Arena chess site. This guy here, if you have a look on the picture, Demetrious Polyzoidis, a Greek gentleman. He's an Arena Federation master, and he, I think, was born, according to Fide, profile of him in 1976. That means he's about a year younger than my son, so he was about 23 years younger than me. Now he's got a very good rating. He's up in the 1469 rating, which is quite high, 196 points higher than me, so I wasn't expecting to beat him in this game, so I was going to do what I could and see how it goes. I have beaten players higher. The ratings on Arena Chess seem very different than on other sites like chess.com or Light Chess. I think it's to do with the fact that on here you get titles if you reach certain targets, and they're lower than what they would be on the other sites, but nevertheless that applies to everyone, so you don't know a player's real playing strength on here. You could play somebody who's 1200 and he could be, say, 1700 on Light Chess. This guy could easily be probably 1900 on Light Chess or higher. So it's just difficult to tell. But we're going to look at the game now. It was played about three or 4 days ago, and it's interesting. I'm playing white, and I opened with e4, and my Greek friend played e4, f4. He takes f, so we're in the King's Gambit accepted line here. I like to play the King's Gambit online. I don't play it much over the board, but I probably might try it in the next Congress I play it. I don't know. Knight f3, knight f6. So he's attacking the pawn and defending it with a knight and developing a knight at the same time. So he's got his other knight out. So all 4 knights are now out on the board. Bishop c4. Preparing to castle and to start attacking that 7 pawn, which is the target. Now, bishop b4. This is to undermine the protection of the e4 pawn. So I played d3. This helps protect the pawn if the knight is taken. So he's after my bishop, which is the problem here. I could go bishop b5, and he plays a6, bishop a4, b5, and then back to b3, and he takes. So I don't see any point in helping him develop his bishop on b7. So I went bishop back to b3. He took the bishop. A takes b, and he's again undermining my center by hitting me with d5. You can always tell when you're playing a good player. They don't give you much time to think. This is only a 5-minute game, this Blitz chess, so we have to be accurate as possible. Now, if he pushes on with that pawn to d4, then I'm going to lose my knight. So I castle to make sure that the pin won't remain. He's gone d takes e, knight takes e, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, queen takes queen, and rook takes queen. So he's come out better in the opening because of the fact that his pawns are better. He's a pawn up, his pawns are better, and I've got 3 islands of pawns. So it's difficult to say because he hasn't developed his bishop yet. So he brought the bishop back to defend that pawn from me taking the pawn with the bishop. So that's given me a bit of time. So I push my pawn on so that it makes that move look wrong. So he played bishop c5 check. King came to f1 towards the centre. And after that little move that he played, bishop d6, he's lost the tempo now, and I'm improving in my game. He's gone bishop g4, bishop takes f4. I can't really stop him. I could go king to e2 to defend the knight, but I just took the pawn and get my pieces out. It's only a 5-minute game. You just gotta play as instinctively, really, when you're playing 5 minutes chess. It's not a lot of time to think. So he castled. I played rook d5, hitting the bishop. Now he's gone back to b6, c4 and c5 to trap the bishop. So let's see what happens. I played c4. Now he really must play c6, so he's got an exit square for his bishop, either on c7 or back to d8. But instead he chose to tap my centre again with f6. Well, this was a mistake because he's now lost the bishop. And he took the bishop, I took the bishop, and he's gone pawn takes pawn. Now rook takes pawn's no good because he's got rook takes bishop, so I have to take the bishop. Take the pawn with the bishop, but then he takes my knight, pawn takes bishop, rook check after he takes, and he's got 5 pawns against 3, so he's got 2 pawns for the bishop. He's still basically a pawn down, but the 2 rooks are always strong against mine. Is whether those pawns can prevail against my bishop. So he's moved his rook back now because I would have taken it. So he's pinning my bishop to my rook. I can't take the pawn on c7 with either rook or bishop, so I've played bishop back, protecting my rook. And this again, I think, is a mistake, swapping off when you're a piece down. I don't think it's a good idea. But he could have just gone rook back to f7 and protected the pawn for now. So I've taken the rook, and he's played a6. So I played my rook across to f1. This stops the king from coming towards the middle of the board at this time. And it's going to be a bit of a problem for him now, getting his king out. So he's played rook cross to e8. Rook f2, that's just to stop him coming down to e2. h6, h3, b6, this was expected. Bishop to b4, a5, and then bishop to c3. So I've got good control of this situation now. It's hard to get my pawns, any of them. All he can hope for is to try and swap them all off and swap the rooks off, and leaving me with a bishop and a king, which would be a draw. So he's come down rook to e3, and now I'm advancing my king upwards to up the board, because this is how I have to win the game, by getting my king into a very central square where I can attack these pawns. He's gone back to e7, and I've gone to g4, c6, move my rook up to f4, so no check on e4 can drive me off of that square at the moment. He's played c5, so he's restricting my movement of my bishop, but at the same time that a pawn of his is paralyzed, because if he moves that b pawn, then that pawn will drop. So I've moved my pawn to h4. He's played rook to e3, so it's no problem here. I just go in the middle, towards the middle of my king. This is looking very good now, very, very good. And he's gone out with his king also to f7. So now I'm forcing him to move his rook or take my rook. If he does that, I would have thought it was lost. So he played g6, but I can move my king across rather than back. So I went king to e4. Rook takes rook, king takes rook, king to e6. Now, he's got a 2-to-1 pawns over on the G and H file, so he's got a pawn majority there, but my bishop can definitely harass those pawns, make him play the H pawn, then they're not going anywhere. So he's moved to H5, bishop to H6. Now he can't move that G pawn at all. He can only move the other pawn, so he's gone B5. He's hoping to do something over here, but my bishop's come back to D2, and really that's as far as it goes. He's not going to get anywhere now. So he's played B4. Now, the situation here is, can I make him move his king now by just moving my bishop to E3? And here's where the problem lies. Is a Zugzwang situation, German word for being in a position where you're being forced to move off of a good square onto a bad one and giving me the advantage. That's the advantage of having an extra piece. You don't have to move the king at certain times where you can move the piece instead. Whereas now, he cannot move anything else without losing a pawn. If he played G pawn, I would just take it with a bishop. If he took one of the other pawns, if he moved, say, F4, just take. So it's hopeless. So that was the end of this game. I was really pleased to beat this guy, a strong player, and I've never played him before, but I understand that I think he lives in Australia and is a school teacher there. It looks like it possibly is him by a picture I saw on Facebook. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll keep bringing these games to you, and I hope you keep enjoying them. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you very soon.